Students, are you there?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'm just going to do a revision, okay? So I'll just revise whatever I have done, not whatever the other teachers have done is a different thing. Whatever I've done, I'll just revise and then you can ask question regarding your assignments and all, okay? So balanced diet, whatever I've done is on balanced diet and therapeutic diets, okay? So we have done, like, what is a balanced diet? It should provide around 60 to 70% of the total calorie from carbohydrate, 10 to 12% from protein, and 20 to 25% from fats. That is a balanced diet. And then this is the RDA. You have to keep in mind while planning a diet, you have to keep in mind to check the RDA, except when you are asked to plan regarding like diabetic and all. We can't always take the RDA because the requirement, it depends on the height. We have to get first the ideal body weight, right? So in case you are asked just randomly, because there will be question even in the exam, we'll come to that towards the end of the slide. Question regarding, they will not give you specifically that a person weighed this much, or they'll just say plan a diet for an individual who is having tuberculosis or who is anemic. So you just have to imagine and assume that maybe for an adult, if I pick up a sedentary, this much calories will be there. That is why you have to keep in mind what is the energy that is required for a sedentary adult, for a pregnant woman. That all you should at least have at least you should by heart these area about energy and proteins. Okay. How many of you have learned all this regarding how much to plan, how much calorie a mother, like a lactating mother needs, or a pregnant woman needs? These all need to be, it needs to be like kept in mind, or you just have to study and then by heart these values. Is that clear? Yes or no? Yes, are you
Yes, ma'am.
understanding what I'm trying to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So all of you, so you have to have this value you should keep in mind while planning, because question will be asked like plan a diet for a pregnant woman. So you should know how much energy a pregnant woman need, how much protein the pregnant woman need, then only you can plan accordingly. Clear? So these are the value that you should keep in mind while planning. Then number 4 is select from all the 5 food groups. Those are the things that you have to keep in mind. You have to know the RDA, then you select from all the 5 food groups. You should know like a sedentary person should need how much portion of these cereal. It might be a little less or a little more, doesn't matter. But around these figures, it should not be that you have to give oil, so much oil that it is not according, that it's too much excess. And then vegetables also at least 100 grams. Then green leafy also you should, these are quite easy to remember. The only differences is the cereal portion, right? See, the pulses also is almost same, and even the milk portion also is same. And then roots and tubers also is same, except just for women is a little less. And then for green leafy also is the same thing. Other vegetable fruits also is the same. Sugar, just a slight differences in the heavy worker. And oil also slight differences in a heavy worker in case of a male. So all these you have to keep in mind so that you can get the correct plan. While planning, you will not go wrong. And then balanced diet for infant, the portion size is different because the previous one is only for adults. See, it's only for the adult male and female till heavy worker. And in the case of infants, it is different because they have different age group. So just a rough idea at least, so that you don't go wrong in giving the amount. Otherwise, if you give for a infant 100 grams of cereal, so but then the requirement is just 30, right? So in that way you should not go wrong in the amount, because the amount also while planning is very important. You can't give a child around 100 grams of cereal to eat. That will amount to around 2 cups of rice, so a child will not be able to eat that much. So if you have a rough idea regarding this, you will understand how much is the amount for an infant, how much is the amount for an adolescent. See the vast differences of 0.5 to 14 for an adolescent boy. So these you have to keep in mind while planning a diet. Then using the exchange list for calculating the energy, protein, carbohydrates and fats. And then therapeutic diet, we have the clear liquid diet, full liquid diet, soft diet, routine hospital diet, and special feeding methods, which we've already done each and every one. And then clear liquid diet you can give in the case of a person who's having severe diarrhea, and then we have stopped feeding the person, but then clear liquid diet can still be given in order to rehydrate, like glucose water can be given, then ORS, then clear rice water, clear veg soup, then barley water. All these will come under clear liquid diet. Then full liquid diet is a bit thicker, and clear liquid diet, just keep in mind that it should be transparent, that is clear. That word, the word clear comes from that, transparent. And full liquid is a bit thick. It's a kind of a paste, a little pasty, flowing consistency. So milk can be included in a full liquid diet. You have to keep that in mind, but not in a clear liquid. Then in a soft diet, like you can give mashed potato, mashed rice, mashed vegetables, and then meat in the form of mash form, or you can cut it into small pieces, then it will be a soft form, or meatballs also, they are already in a soft form. Then routine hospital diet, when a person has gone stronger from clear liquid, full liquid, soft, and then routine hospital diet. And then special feeding method, like what I have done, like nasogastric feed from the mouth, from the nose to the stomach, then jejunal feed, either directly from the nose to the jejunum, and then the parenteral nutrition is through the veins I've done, and then PEG, okay, directly through the abdomen you can feed through, which is punctured into the stomach. So that these are the special therapeutic diets that we can introduce in a hospital setup. Then what are the different types of therapeutic diet, like high fiber diet? All these you have to know under which condition you have to give, because if we give a plan a diet for a person suffering from constipation, so what type of diet should be for a constipation, that also you should know it's a high fiber, and then you plan the entire food and you avoid most of these food and include most of these food into your plan. So these you should know what are the types you should avoid and what are the types you should include. So in the case constipation, and then atherosclerosis, like heart disease, diabetes also. Diabetes can be in various forms. A diabetic diet should be high fiber. It should be low in calorie, a low fat, okay. And then a low residue diet, that is for peptic ulcer, a person who have ulcer. Diarrhea also can be given low residue. In case the person is having like diarrhea which have subside, maybe it has improved a little bit, then from a clear liquid you can go for a low residue diet. So what can be avoided and what to be given, see over here I've given clear soup, curd, paneer, tender chicken, fish, fruit juice, then egg, refined cereal, and bread and dessert. So for a low residue these are to be included, and then for foods to avoid, these are milk and all should be avoided. And in the case of diarrhea, ulcerative colitis, then operation of the colon or the rectum, we need a low residue diet. And then a high calorie diet, it is in case of fever. See, for a person who is having tuberculosis also, they have fever. Then for an underweight person, hyperthyroidism and malabsorption, malabsorption will be very underweight. So a high caloric diet should be given in this case. And then the same thing in the case of these are the low calorie diet for obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. Then high protein diet, in which case you have to give for a high protein diet. Even for anemia also a high protein diet is given, but you have to include more of green leafy vegetables in case of anemia. Then low fat diet and low cholesterol diet, and then sodium restricted diet in the case of hypertension, renal diet, and liver disease, and a low purine diet. And then this is your last assignment that I'm going to give. Note down each and every one of you for this plan 1. Number 1, you have to, the roll number 1 to 5 should be doing this number 1. Number 2 is from roll number 6 to 10. Number 3 is from 11 to 15. And then you have to divide, because there are 50 of you, right? Tell me, how many of you total in the class?
49, ma'am.
49. Or then it'll not be 1 to 5, it'll be 1 to 10. This point number 1. Then 1 to, 10 to 11 to 20. And then 21 to 30. 31 to 40 and 41 to 40 till 47, right? You said how many students?
49, ma'am.
49. So
What,
this,
ma'am? 49.
yeah, up to 49, this plan 5. So this is not done, should not be done in group, this is individual. Okay, but then 1 to 10, this plan individually you have to plan. And then so that in that way all of you are learning. Later on when doing the exam, you have to go through each other plan. Okay, so that you'll have an idea after my correction. So that you'll have an idea. I'll pick up the best plan and that will be your reference, so that in any time whenever you before your exam you can refer to those plan. Is that clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So you note down your questions, what are you, which roll number should do which one, and then individually plan. Okay, individual, not as a group, individual plan, because marks will be given individually, not as a group. So that will come to, this is your last assignment and you have to submit that other assignment that the previous ma'am has given you also as a group, that is. Okay, this one will be an individual. So I'll just explain how you should plan. Are you alert? Who is roll number 1 to 10? 1 to 10. Can I get roll number 2? Who's roll number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Alan is roll number 2. Can you tell
Yes,
me,
ma'am.
okay, plan a therapeutic diet for an adult woman with pulmonary tuberculosis. What type of diet you'll give me? You'll give for this person. Pulmonary tuberculosis. Alan, tell me what type of diet you'll
Yes, ma'am.
prescribe for a pulmonary tuberculosis. On your camera also. Okay. Tell me what type of diet you'll give for a pulmonary tuberculosis. According to that table I've given you. I told every one of you to go through that table, right? It's not unless you have your exam tomorrow,
Ma'am,
then today only. What type of diet you'll give a tuberculosis person? Is it a low calorie diet, low purine diet, low salt diet? What will you give?
ma'am, high fiber diet.
Why you are going to give a high fiber for tuberculosis? Why you need to lose weight? Come on, faster. Answer. Roll number 1. Who's roll number 1? Roll number 1, on your camera fast and your speaker fast. Okay, what will you give? Tell me. Roll number 1.
Ma'am, me roll number 1 Abul, ma'am. Abul.
Abul. Okay, tell me what will you give for a pulmonary tuberculosis? What will you prescribe? Tell me. How will you plan the diet?
Ma'am, high potassium, proteinaceous food, ma'am.
Why high potassium and all?
Protein, ma'am.
High what?
Protein, ma'am.
High protein. High protein. Okay, it should be a high protein, high calorie diet. It's not a it's not a high fiber, high potassium and all that stuff. Okay, so rule number 1 to 10 should plan this type of a diet, that is individual plan. Okay, so they should be planning on a high protein diet for this one. Okay, I'll come to the next point. For point number 2, plan a therapeutic diet for a 5 years old boy suffering from diarrhea admitted in the hospital. Can number 12, roll number 12, tell me what kind of diet is this? On your video and your speaker, roll number 12.
Ma'am,
Yes?
low residue diet.
Okay, low residue diet. But how will you give? This person is admitted in the hospital. Okay, like that means he's severe, right? Having severe diarrhea. So what kind of diet will you give? Just a low residue or something else more than that?
Low residue diet.
Okay, low residue, but then it should be, you plant a clear liquid also. Okay, so the whole day you have to give within, for a clear liquid, it'll be around 2-3 hours. You should be, after 2 hours, you have to give something. So you plan accordingly and you calculate. Clear? Are you clear with this?
Yes.
Or you need
Yes,
any
ma'am.
question? Any question? Clear your doubts before you plan. If you have any question at the end, you can ask me. Okay. So I'll get to point number 3. Plan a therapeutic diet for a 5-year-old child suffering from protein energy malnutrition. So I'm going to ask roll number 25 on your camera and your speaker. Plan a therapeutic diet for a 5 years old suffering from protein energy malnutrition.
Yes, ma'am.
Priyanka is roll number 25.
No, ma'am. Monira Parvin. I am attending with her.
Who is roll number 25?
Monira Parvin.
Where's she? Where's roll number 25?
Ma'am, I am Monira Parvin. I am attending with her.
Okay. So, what will your type of diet you are going to give for a person suffering, for a child suffering from protein energy malnutrition?
High protein.
High protein diet. And then 5-year
Yes,
old,
ma'am.
how much approximate calories will you give for a 5-year old?
Ma'am,
Approximately.
we'll calculate from the start.
So, approximately, according to RDA, how much is the requirement for a 5-year old? Tell me. According to RDA, how much will you plan approximately? Come on, faster. You have the RDA with you? You have or not the RDA with you?
What is the question?
I'm asking, according to the RDA, what is the energy requirement for a 5-year-old? Come on, take out your RDA and look through that. You have the RDA with you?
Yes, ma'am.
So look through that. Why are you just simply looking at the camera? Look through the RDA. What is the RDA for a 5-year-old says? What does it say? How much energy?
1350.
So that much, around that much, a little bit higher than that, you should plan for a protein energy malnutrition, 5-year-old. Is that clear? Yes
Yes,
or
ma'am.
no? So that is how you should, for these case in which you don't need to derive the ideal body weight or the BMI and all that, you don't need all to do that stuff. You just have to refer the RDA, because over here it's not given the weight, the height and all like what I'm doing for diabetic diet. Clear? But in case of these kind of question, are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
So in case of these kind of question, you just have to assume that according to the RDA, I will refer and note down and plan. Even in the case of point number 2 also, the question in number 2 also, it is for a 5-year-old. So we, in case of a 5-year-old, if you give a clear liquid, okay, in the case
Okay, ma'am.
for a 5-year-old, in the case if you are going to give, just get back to roll number 12. May I get back to roll number 12?
Yes, ma'am.
The RDA is how much they said? How much did they say the RDA is?
1350.
So in case you are planning for a clear liquid, you will not get the amount as 1350. Okay. Or whatever in the RDA is written, because you are giving a clear liquid is just the fluids. Clear? So you will get less than that, but it does not matter since you have to plan for a clear liquid diet. Because a clear liquid diet is just the fluid you have to, in order to make a clear vegetable soup, maybe you are taking 1 carrot and you have to give mostly soup, maybe just 1 carrot, little bit beans and then little bit potato. So just 1 carrot and all, it will not make up to so much the amount to get the total calories, like how you are going to do for the portion size. Okay, it does not matter if the calories come very less, because it is just a clear liquid diet. And what are the points that you have to note down for a clear liquid diet? A clear liquid diet should not be fed more than 1-2 days. So if you are planning for a clear liquid diet, it should be given only for 1-2 days, since the patient is in a hospital setup. But once the person diarrhea has improved, then you have to go for a low residue diet. So you can either plan clear liquid, just clear liquid throughout the day, or a low residue diet. Clear? Are you clear? So you have to have two options. Either you plan for a clear liquid or you plan for a low residue. A clear liquid, the calories will be very less. Maybe it'll come less than even 1000 calories also. It'll be up to 500 or 400 kilocalories, which is very less than the RDA. But it does not matter because it is just a clear liquid diet, and then it does not satisfy the hunger of that 5-year-old, but it's just going to rehydrate the person, the child. Okay, so in that way you have to check and just you just plan out, and then you can submit it to me. I will check it out. Clear? Okay, now we'll get back to number 4. Okay, plan a therapeutic diet for an adult man suffering from constipation. So for this, I want roll number 38 to tell me what kind of diet is required for a constipation. Roll number 38. Can you on your video?
Ma'am, roll number 38 has left the college.
Okay. Then roll number 40. Who is roll number 40? Tell me. If nobody is answering, then the whole from roll number 30 to 40 will be cut marks for you all if you are not answering this.
Ma'am, it will be a high fiber diet.
Who's this? Which roll number are you?
Ma'am, roll number 35.
Roll number 35. Okay, can you on your video?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you are going to give a high fiber diet,
High
right?
fiber diet.
For an adult man.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
for this, you can check from the RDA. Maybe you can take either a sedentary man or a moderate man or a heavy worker. But see to it that you
Yes, ma'am.
include more of vegetables and all, because these are high fiber, right? Vegetable, green
Yes,
leafy,
ma'am.
it can be a little more than what is required, more than that 100 grams, a little more also. Is that clear? So that the
Okay, ma'am.
diet is high fiber. And then even for point this constipation also include lots of fluids like in the form of juice, and fruits also should be increased. It can be a little more than that 100 grams that I've given. Okay, so in this case you should plan a high fiber diet. See to it you have to don't give too much of like fats and all that. Is that clear? Are you clear? Do you have any doubts? You can ask me. Okay, and then point number 5. So roll number 42. Roll number 42.
Yes, ma'am.
Rida Kunla, can you on your camera? Okay. What type of
Yes,
diet will
ma'am.
you plan a diet for an adolescent girl suffering from anemia? What kind of diet are you going to give?
High fiber diet.
Why high fiber for an anemic person? You have to tell me why. If you are
It's
answering
not high.
something, why? Why you're going to give a high fiber?
They have in increasing the blood level in the body.
They have to increase what? Again?
They help in increasing the blood level in the body.
Fiber, you mean to say? Does
Yes,
fiber
ma'am.
increase the blood?
High, no, ma'am. And then high iron diet also, those that contain high iron level.
Okay, what will be there in a high iron diet? What type of, what will you give? What type of food will you give in order to increase the iron?
Like cereals, iron contain green veggies, ma'am. Green veggies, ma'am.
Okay, and then even you have to include egg and all also. Okay, egg, then non-veg item like poultry item, fish,
Excuse me,
olive
ma'am.
and green leafy.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, as we know that fiber can decrease the absorption of iron-rich foods, so can we give a fiber-rich diet to our anemic patients?
Where there is written that fiber will increase the absorption of iron?
Ma'am, I read in somewhere that the fiber-rich diet may decrease the absorption of iron-rich foods.
That's not true. Don't read, don't go and Google. Okay, don't go and Google and come and write whatever you have read through Google, because that will be wrong. There are so much of information in Google which is totally wrong. So go through books, and then even if you are permitted to take books from the library, you have to read books from the library, and then through studies. But then you are not going to go through Google and plan a diet accordingly. You have to use whatever your notes that the teachers have given, what are the sources of iron, what are the rich source of iron, and then don't use Google that this can increase the absorption of iron and all. In order to increase the absorption of iron, you have to give vitamin C. It is not fiber. Is that clear? That is a wrong information that you have given, the, or you have you got from the internet or somewhere. But it is a diet which is, in order to improve the absorption of iron, you should give like vitamin C. Can you tell me what is the source of vitamin C? What are the what food is rich source of vitamin C? Ridahun and Upasana, tell me.
Lemon,
Okay, lemon. What else?
orange,
Yeah, orange, all the citrus fruit and including guava and amla also. Gooseberry, Indian gooseberry, it is a rich source of vitamin C. So whenever you are planning a diet for an anemic individual, you should give like all these iron-rich food like green leafy, and then all these poultry, and then egg, and plus and like fruit juices like orange, then guava, amla, but don't give along with milk. Calcium, we can say that it inhibits the absorption of iron, but it's not fiber. Okay, so you should not give a high fiber, high iron diet along with milk together. Maybe they can take after some times, but not immediately together. Is that clear? Yes, Ridahun?
yes, ma'am. Yes,
Any
ma'am.
doubts? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So everyone is clear with the assignment that is being given, or do they have any question? So you have another 10 minutes for question. Any question you have right now, you
Ma'am,
tell me. Yes?
ma'am, when will we will be submitting this assignment?
By next week. I asked you to submit this diabetic assignment on Friday, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
this current assignment that I'm giving now, you can submit by next Wednesday or Friday, up to Wednesday or Friday. Okay, because this coming
Okay,
Friday you
ma'am.
are going to submit for diabetes. So next coming Friday or Wednesday you can submit for this assignment. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, please give the notes on diabetes.
I've given the
Diabetic.
notes on diabetes, right? I've not given. You have not
No, ma'am, we
received.
have not received.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, I'll send it by tonight because I've given to your teacher. Maybe she has not forwarded to you. Okay, so I'll give the notes on
Okay, ma'am.
diabetes, and then regarding these are the plan. Did you note down? Yes or no? Did you note down these questions? All of you, for your
Yes,
concern.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so any question you have regarding all these plan, how you should do, and what are the things that you need to do in order to make this plan, you ask now itself. You have another 8 minutes to ask before the class gets over. Any question? Fast, you can ask. You have another 8 minutes. Are you all clear? So if everyone is clear, that means you have to plan a good plan.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes?
Ma'am, for the diabetic diet plan, that calculating those energy, protein, and carbohydrates, should we include those in our assignment also?
Yes, that is an assignment also. You have to calculate all those things. Percentage and
Okay,
all,
ma'am.
right? You have to calculate, and then in the diet plan, you have to show me how you are getting this much percentage and all. Okay, so in that way, all those will be included, and then with these also. So these you can just imagine an adult man, either it can be a sedentary, a moderate, or a heavy worker. A child also, a 5-year-old, I'm not giving you the weight and anything, but just assume that the child is having, if it is a PM, then the child will be having less body weight, less than the normal body weight. So that means the calories also should be a little higher than the RDA in order to make the child to gain weight. So you have to give a little more energy, clear, and protein in case of
Yes, ma'am.
increasing energy malnutrition. But in the case of diarrhea, it can be less than the RDA because the child, if the person is having diarrhea, they will not be able to eat also. So you can't overload, but you can plan accordingly. So you have to use your common sense also. Even for pulmonary tuberculosis also, they require a high energy, high protein diet, right? So The energy, if you are taking a child or an adult woman who's having like assumed to be 50 kg, maybe or less than 50 kg, maybe because they will be losing weight with pulmonary tuberculosis, then give a higher protein, high energy, so that even the energy will be a little higher than the RDA also. It does not matter because the person need a high calorie and a high protein. Is that clear? Okay, any more question? 5 minutes. No more question? Come on, think properly. What are the other questions that you can ask so that before you start doing the assignment? This will be your last class, so you can, in the next class and all, you can do all those assignment, those pending assignment. Whatever classes is there for nutrition, do submit your assignment. And those other assignment that I told you that the other madam has given, you can submit it to the college, and then the college can submit it to us in hard copy, not it through mail. Whatever I'm giving for my assignment, for my part, you can give it to my mail. But then for the other assignment that the other ma'am has given for presentation, please write it down in A4 sheets, okay? In A4 sheets, and then submit it to the college. Then in the college, they will give it to our office. Is that clear? Yes or no? Don't submit it through mail for the other assignment, for the presentation assignment. Yes, are you all clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Only for
Yes,
these,
ma'am.
only for these diet plan, it will be to my mail. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, that's all. So I hope you will do your best in the coming days, and for your if we meet till the exams, and also all the best if you have to happen to have an exam, and if not, do your assignment in a better way. See that you don't. And then one of you have planned tamarind milk. I forgot there is a plan which I've given tamarind milk. Be just to make clear, tamarind milk is imli, right? It is imli. Tamarind is imli in Hindi. So you can't give a tamarind in milk. It is, I think, so the person who wants to plan that was about to plan turmeric milk. It's not tamarind milk, it is turmeric milk. Okay, haldi doodh, that they call it in Hindi. So
Yes, ma'am.
just be clear. Maybe he wants to write turmeric milk or haldi doodh, but the person, the student has written tamarind milk. Tamarind is imli. It is that tamarind. I hope you understand what is tamarind. So you should not give it. You should not plan it as a tamarind milk. There's no such thing as tamarind milk. Does not taste good at all. So just in case you have realized that, so all of you should be aware of all these ingredients and all. Don't make mistakes like that. Okay, are you clear? Yes. Okay, then this will be your
Yes,
last
ma'am.
class. Thank you and all the best. Okay, students.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.